Hello, you're watching TVS News at 5 with me, Douglas Elliott. It's Wednesday, February 16. We begin with our top story. The State Legislative Assembly on Wednesday passed an additional 478 million ringgit of ordinary expenditure under the Supplementary Supply 2021 Bill 2022. The bill was tabled this morning by Second Finance and New Economy Minister Dr. Amar Douglas Uga Ambas and seconded by Minister for Public Health, Housing and Local Government Datuk Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian.
According to Uga, the additional expenditure is to meet the costs of various services incurred by various ministries and departments for which funds were not provided for or insufficiently provided for in the 2021 estimates.
This additional expenditure is to meet the cost of various services incurred by various ministries and departments for which funds were not provided for or insufficiently provided for in the 2021 estimates.
Among the ministries and departments are the Chief Minister's Office, Ministry of Utilities, Ministry of Transport, Sarawak Rural Water Supply Department, Public Works Department and local authorities. In addition, the bill also sought for the approval for the first supplementary estimates of development expenditure for an additional allocation of 81 million ringgit.
Buting Maro Assemblyman RAZAILI has been appointed as the new chairman of the Sarawak State Accounts Committee. RAZAILI took over the post from Sadong Jaya Assemblyman Adil Larry Wu, who is now the Assistant Minister of Infrastructure and Port Development. The appointment was announced by the Sarawak State Legislative Assembly or DUN Speaker Tan Sri Dato' Amar Muhammad Asfi Awang Nassar at the DUN conference this morning.
Pursuant to Standing Order 69, (2), (b), the Standing Orders and Selection Committee have nominated the chairman and members for the following successional select committee. Public Accounts Committee under Standing Order 70, Yang Berhormat Insinyur Loh Kichiang, Yang Berhormat Encik Muhammad Chi bin Kadir, Yang Berhormat Encik Si Chihau, Yang Berhormat Encik Wilson Nyabung Anak Liang, Yang Berhormat Encik Miro Anak Simbo, Yang Berhormat Encik Roland Tuat Anak Jubin.
Other than that, Asfia also announced that he will be the chairman of the Sarawak DUN Committee, Public Complaints Committee and the Standing Committee.
The committee shall assist the House Committee in the planning, organizing, managing and monitoring any events or matter relating and incidental to the comfort and convenience of the services, amenities and facilities of the members of the Dewan.
Sarawak is on track to regulate its SAGO and NIPAH industries with the passing of the SAGO and NIPAH Development Board Bill 2022 by the State Legislative Assembly on Wednesday. Minister for Modernisation of Agriculture and Regional Development, Datuk Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom said the board would assist in planning the future viability and sustainability of the two industries.
Dr. Rundi said Sarawak is among the world's largest exporters of SAGO flour, with over 37,000 tons of SAGO starch valued at 78.29 million ringgit in 2020, while 1.93 million ringgit worth of gula apong, one of NIPAH products, was exported in 2020, with another 3.38 million ringgit from local sales. He added the interests of all communities in Sarawak would be taken into account in the process of legislating the board to gain benefits from its formation and to align its objective with the state's goal of a high-income economy. Once formed, Dr. Rundi said the board could lessen the burden on other agricultural authorities which also take care of the development of other crops.
For businesses affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, the government has allocated a total of 500 million ringgit for 200,000 entrepreneurs registered under the Cooperative Institute of Malaysia, or ICMA. The assistance will be channeled to them in the form of cash, moratorium and grants through the Revolving Capital Fund of Malaysian Cooperative Commission with up to 200,000 ringgit.
Dalam tempoh 100 hari, kita telah menggerakkan usaha untuk menggabungkan semua agensi di bawah kita yang terdiri daripada 11 agensi ini, dan kita telah menyalurkan peruntukan 500 million. Ini termasuk sebahagiannya adalah moratorium dan juga grant, dan kita telah mensasarkan lebih daripada 200,000 usahawan dalam konteks ini. Tetapi dalam konteks koperasi, tanggungjawab ini dimainkan oleh pihak SKM dan juga Bank Rakyat. Jadi dua agensi ini diberikan amanah oleh kementerian untuk memastikan bahawa usahawan koperasi ini tidak dapat dibantu sebaik mungkin.
For the record, the Malaysian Cooperative Commission (SKM) has provided assistance amounting to 278,000 ringgit to cooperatives in the Miri division. This assistance includes a disaster relief fund of a total of 13,000 ringgit to cooperatives in the Baram area.
Welcome back. The Malaysian Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, or MOTAC, takes seriously the incident of 7 Malaysians stranded in the Philippines following the issue of the COVID-19 digital vaccination certificate not recognized by the Philippines authorities. Its Minister, Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri, did not expect such an incident could happen, adding that she will bring this matter to the cabinet meeting.
Although Malaysia and the Philippines have now reached an agreement to recognize the COVID-19 digital vaccination certificate, the matters still needs to be discussed to prevent such an incident happens shortly.
Sebenarnya bila saya nampak dalam social media, saya terus tanya. Jadi sebenarnya maklumat yang saya dapat cuma mengatakan secara teknikal semuanya sudah resolve. Sebab mungkin ada misunderstanding lah, ada kelewatan untuk berhubung di antara satu sama lain. Jadi apa yang saya dapat tahu ialah perkara ini sudah di-resolve melalui malawakil kita di Filipina. Itu saja saya tahu. Terfikirlah, jadi apabila ini berlaku, dia menjadi satu panduan lah. InsyaAllah saya akan bawa perkara ini besok kepada Kabinet.
And following that, Malaysian travelers are now allowed entry into the Philippines with proof of a complete vaccination status in MySejahtera. This was following the agreement reached between the Malaysian and Philippine governments on Monday to mutually recognize the COVID-19 vaccination certificate.
In a statement, the Foreign Ministry also said travelers from the Philippines are also allowed to enter Malaysia with proof of a complete vaccination certificate in Vax Cert PS. The agreement also allows the Malaysian Embassy in Manila to assist 7 Malaysians stranded at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport last Sunday to enter the Philippines for official and business purposes. On Monday, the media reported that 7 Malaysians were stranded at the airport after being informed by the Philippine authorities that the Malaysian digital vaccine certificate in the MySejahtera application was not acceptable proof of vaccination. However, all of them were allowed to enter the Republic as a result of the swift action of the Malaysian Embassy in Manila. According to Wisma Putra, the Malaysian government in principle recognizes travelers who have been inoculated with vaccines approved under the Emergency Use Listing EUL by the World Health Organization WHO or approved by the authorities of certain countries. However, the recognition of MySejahtera's digital vaccination certificate is subject to the decision of other governments.
The implementation of Air and Land Vaccinated Travel Lane or VTL, as well as recognition of MySejahtera, were the two important things decided during Prime Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob's two-day official visit to Brunei. The agreement, reached as the result of a discussion between Ismail Sabri and the Sultan of Brunei, Sultan Hassan of Bolkiah, will help revive the economic sector.
Currently, there are more than 25,000 Malaysians living and working in Brunei, including Sarawakians who commute to Brunei. Some have yet to return to Malaysia for 2 years, following the closure of the country's borders due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Describing his maiden visit to Brunei as Prime Minister a great success, Ismail Sabri said a proposal was also made for the implementations of 4 flights a week between Brunei and Malaysia when the VTL is carried out. There were also discussions on measures to enhance economic cooperation, including trade and investment between Malaysia and Brunei, adding that bilateral trade increased by 70.4% to 8.03 billion ringgit last year. He said border area trade was also significant, with a value of 832.40 million ringgit last year. Ismail Sabri regarded the reached agreement during his short visit to Brunei reflected the strong commitment between the two countries towards improving relations to a higher and stronger level.
And that's all the update for News at 5. Be sure to tune into Nightline at 11:30 p.m. I'm Douglas Elliott. Thank you. Until then.